All right, we're in the building. Welcome back to all the people. I know it's been a minute, but your boy is back. We about to talk about this today. This presentation is brought to you by AdonisAmari.com. Go to the top line of the description box and go get yourself some more brand new, fresh beard bomb. Smell good. Look at that. Look how the beard shining. Boom. And our beard oil. Mix them together, put it on, shine yourself up, smell good. Pick it out. I guarantee you it'll shine all day long. So let's get to this. I know you came in here today for a certain reason, so I'm not going to waste any time getting, to get to today. So Cassie took the stage. Well, not the stage. She testified today once again. And it was some bombshell testimony to say the least today. I mean, it was a lot that transpired, and I'm here to cover it all for you as much as I can before I get tired of talking to y'all today. So it was a day. It was a day. Where's my good setting at? Where's my setting? Hard to find. I can't find you, but make sure if you're just coming in, please hit the thumbs up button. There we go for your boy. Let's jump into it. So Cassie, today she came in day 3 of testimonies today. Today they said that she was more composed today, more composed, more confident today as she testified. Now she is accusing Diddy of a lot. Today they played the full video. The video we seen him putting his hands on Cassie. That full video was played in court. It's out right now if you want to go check it out on the internet. I'm not going to play it for obvious reasons, but she also, right, today she testified that she suffered a lot of medical issues as a result of what she calls drug-fueled orgies. She said Diddy will hold blackmail videos against her if she would ever, try to leave, and that's why she was scared to actually leave him. A lot of people are calling, cap on that. So let's get to the bullet points for today. Now, she talks about, if you guys remember, the settlement. They had a settlement, and at the time, the media or the news was reporting the settlement was worth upward of $30 million. Well, Cassie confirmed that she settled with Combs for $20 million. Um, Originally, I think it was up to like 50, but they settled for $20 million. She got that out the way first. Now, tomorrow, which is going to be crazy, is cross-examination. Cross-examination, if you don't know, is when the defense team will actually get an opportunity, right? A chance to cross-examine, ask Cassie questions. That's going to be heated. Now, you have a few people in court that while court is going on Instagram, on Twitter, they are giving you word for word. Shout out to those people that are doing that. Now, again, they said she kept her composure today, answering questions in a calm and matter-of-fact type of tone. They said she recalled an incident back in 2018 where Diddy R her. They said at that point, she, became a little bit more emotional, as you think she would. Now, Diddy's family, most of them showed up today. His daughters didn't show up today, and a lot of people are saying they strategically kept them out because of the graphic nature of the testimony that was going to be coming, today. So when she gets on the stand, she, gets into the settlement. Then she moves on and she talks about a 2018 incident where she said the two went out to dinner in Malibu. Now, she said she recalled the conversation where they were being nice and playful at the time. And she said Combs eventually took her back, to an apartment. She said, I went inside. He came in and argued me in the living room floor. I remember crying and saying, no, it was fast. His eyes were black. He wasn't himself. It was like somebody's taking something from you. She said that after the incident, the two were intimate voluntarily another time. So she said the first encounter, he went all the way. He took it from her at the time. Now, The court, and I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown, and I'm gonna get up out of here, right? If you didn't get it today, the court was shown a close-up picture of Cassie's eyebrow and black eye. Now they all had individual um like screens, supposedly, not one big screen, so they all got to see the stuff up close and personal. And at times some of the jurors, for the most part were composed, but some of them, grimace. Some of them, had a little bit of emotion on their face, according to a few eyewitness testimonies. Now, the next part, right, and this might not be in chronological order. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I'm just going to give it to you anyway. Cassie today also talked about breaking up with Kid Cudi after Sean Combs, Diddy, allegedly gave him some threats, bomb threats. Right now, she says back in 2011, while she was at home in Connecticut during the holiday season, she called off her relationship with Kid Cudi. And her quote was, what she actually said on the stand was, "I had broken off the relationship with Scott, who was Kid Cudi. There was too much uncertainty if we could continue to see each other," adding that there was danger. And Sean said he was going to hurt both of us. At one point, Sean said that, she was out of the country, when they were out of the country, that Scott, aka Kid Cudi's car would be blown up. She also said that Diddy said that he hoped that his family and friends were around when this happened. Again, this is alleged, and this information already came out prior. I'm just going down the timeline for today. Like, as I told you, I'll be going through this case day by day and just giving my little breakdown of how I feel, about the testimony. And, at the end of it, I give you, how I feel about everything. Now, the next part, she talks about her mother took pictures of the bruises. So the whole time, her and her mother and family members were documenting this for, I guess, a day like today. Now, Cassie told the jury that she went to see her mother in Connecticut after allegedly being beaten by Diddy. Now, Cassie raised her shirt, according to her testimony, allowing her mother to take photos of the bruises to her lower back and butt, along with the wounds on her right thigh. Cassie said, "I believe I told her this was the first time and didn't tell her about the free calls," Cassie said in court, adding that she felt she couldn't justify it to anyone, especially my mom. Wow. So pretty much saying, like, look, I couldn't tell nobody about this. There were reports that her husband even got up and walked out. Like, so this is something she's been holding in and not telling anyone about, obviously because of the shame. Now, moving on, because I want to expedite this. Cassie recalls another alleged incident of physical violence. Cassie, right, recalled another incident in which she alleged Combs beat her. He got angry with her after she was at a party at Prince's house, right? Now, later at the Los Angeles hotel room where he was staying, she said, "Combs, Diddy, beat me up and threw luggage at me. I had bruising on my face, knots on my head." Wow. Another beating she talked about today, right? And this is a violent outburst, she said, that occurred inside of a car on some Chris Brown Rihanna type shit, right? Ventura, who was Cassie, said she had spotted Combs flirting in a restaurant with another woman. When they got back to the car, the rapper knocked me around in an outburst and allegedly happened, they're saying in 2008, 2009. She said, now, quote, "He hit me on the side of my head. I fell to the floor of the Escalade. He shook me up and scared me quite a bit. So I got out of the car. I was shocked. I didn't understand what happened, why he was so angry." She added, "I knew his capabilities, his access to guns and threats that he made." Once again, jurors were showed these pictures that her mother took and some of the, black eyes and bruises that she had on her body up close and personal on an individual screen, which is crazy. I don't know if I ever heard of that, but maybe that's something new. Usually it's on the big screen, I guess. But anyway, now getting deeper into this, it was a courtroom. Somebody put a sketch, and when I edit this video for the people that watch it later on another channel, whatever, you can see wasn't able to get it for this video. There was a sketch of the video playing with Diddy and the towel, the infamous video that everybody's seen maybe a year and a half ago or so, where they played the whole video in its entirety. And as you know, does it give any more context? Not really. Not really. Now they also started to delve into text messages, right? Now the prosecution presented a text message exchange in which Cassie described how badly Diddy abused her, right? Now, this is not, I'm not lying, I'm not making this up. She said, Ventura, Cassie wrote to Combs, "You treat me like Ike Turner," a reference to a volatile marriage, obviously, as the late Tina Turner and Ike Turner. She said, Cassie saying about Diddy, "He was abusive and controlling. He was physically abusive. He put me down a lot, as much as I would be built up. The sheer embarrassment, how he treated me in front of other people." Mm, mm, mm. Now, another time, as they went further on a testimony or in the testimony, she details an alleged time where Sean Diddy Puffy gashed her face, right? Now, she recalled this was back allegedly in 2013, where she was actually forced to go to the plastic surgeon to treat this wound. She said, "Sean came in. I was asleep. He was trying to attack me. We went into the master bedroom. My friends were jumping on his back trying to stop him. I cut my eyebrow on the corner of the bed. Sean threw me into the bed frame. I had a significant gash. I didn't go to the ER. It was on a Sunday. Sean had security take me to a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills." This shit sounds like Ike and Tina Turner, the movie, bro. But again, this is just one side of the story. But tell me this don't sound like, this is crazy. She went on to say, "You don't know when to stop. You have pushed too far," Sean or Diddy said to her. "Just say sorry. I don't know why I deserve that. I could care less if I was okay," Cassie responded, right? Now, we're getting into these freak offs now. This is where it gets a little crazy, right? If you're watching, hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching live on the playback, right? Cassie, they're saying, felt mortified and trapped when Combs on private jets would actually take these video recordings of these freak offs and show her as a form of intimidation, allegedly, and blackmail, that if she ever would get out of line, that he would leak these tapes. Now, she said that she felt like if this were to occur, that she would lose all her music contracts and even possibly be blackmailed from the industry. Now, there was a trip that they went on to an island back in 2013, as she tells. She said he pulled up freak off videos on his laptop that I thought were deleted. He was showing them to other people around. I said, "You're embarrassing me. I was scared. I felt trapped. How do you get out of this situation? I felt trapped." She said she arranged a freak off within hours of their landing so he wouldn't get angry. If she didn't, she testified, he said videos would be released. Now, this is going to end up, these type of admissions right here, the defense is going to eat alive, because now she's saying that she arranged the freak offs. She's saying that she did it, but she did it to keep him happy. So they're painting this picture like this dude is a controlling, sex addict, abusive monster, right? That is controlling her physically, mentally, you know what I mean, emotionally, and that she feels trapped and she can't leave. And it got to the point where she would even do these freak offs to make this man happy. The video doesn't help Diddy, but we're going to move on because I think this is going to be a key point. If you're the defense, if I'm the defense, tomorrow's going to be interesting, because wow, we're going to see how good his lawyers really are. Because if he really wanted to, the defense could really, run with little things like this. But we'll get to that, right? Now, Cassie testified also, going further, that she would get scared during the freak offs that Combs would injure her. Now, who called these things freak offs? Is this and this is what I was thinking earlier. Like, is this a term coined by the federal government, or did Diddy or Cassie call these? Because why are they saying this freak offs? Like, who made this up? I want to know the origination of this. Because if the federal government made this up and now Cassie keeps on reiterating it, it's for psychological reasons, right? They're painting a picture of what a freak off is. But that's something, we'll get to that down the line, right? I know you guys want to hear a little bit more of what went on. We're about almost 60% through this, it looks like. Now Cassie testified that sometimes she would be afraid during the freak off parties because they will often turn violent. She said, and I quote, Sean will put his hands on me. He would push me down, kick me. She told the courtroom. There were other times if we were having a bad time or if I was scared of him, uncomfortable typically, I would leave to go out the back of the hotel. When asked by prosecutors how often Combs would injure her, she said, too often during these freak offs. Now, moving forward, Combs allegedly tried to force swingers lifestyle on Cassie with sex clubs, she said. Combs then told his then girlfriend Cassie that having multiple sex partners was a lifestyle and a turn on for the rapper. When he told me, and this is Cassie speaking, that we could swap partners, a certain lifestyle, that was a turn on for him. Wow. This lifestyle included sex, clubs, visits, which Cassie said she didn't enjoy. When she didn't want to go, Combs still pressed the issue. Some of the time, he would try to turn the energy around and keep it positive, become playful and funny, not scary, Cassie said. He would push and try to convince me. Now, when the prosecution asked why she drank so much at sex clubs, Cassie responded, because I didn't want to be sober. Now, as a result of some of these freak offs, Cassie also testified that she would get UTIs, urinary tract infections, mouth sores, and a lot of stomach problems. Now, Cassie said during the freak offs, it will cause her urinary tract infections, mouth sores, and gastronitis issues. And she said, I quote, when we were having frequent freak offs, they were back to back. And sometimes I would do a freak off with the infection, she says. I tried to flush it out with water. I got to the point where Cipro, an antibiotic, didn't work anymore. It was a mess. It was really painful for a long time. I can't believe I actually dealt with it. Now, you would ask, remember they was talking about the baby oil and they was talking about the IVs and things like that, and some of the things that were used. Cassie, and she was asked, and I'll get to her testimony. She talks about how she recovered. Like, they were doing this so often, sometimes days at a time, drugs, alcohol. How do you, cope? And she said, after a freak off, she would go back to Combs' place. They would have massages and take care of themselves. I had an addiction to opiates, so I would take pills to come down, she told the courtroom. I wanted to feel numb and not know what was going on in my mind. So she's saying, like, the cocaine, the Molly, the ecstasy, whatever they was doing, alcohol, she would take an opiate painkiller, right, to be able to come down easily and get a massage and then repeat this process. She said, after a freak off, I felt so tired, achy, dehydrated, not really eating too much. Emotionally, I felt empty, gross, like I did a job. Wow. Now, Cassie recalled the panic she felt after first learning that the video of her having sex with another man, at Combs' direction might have been leaked, right? A former girlfriend, wow, look at this, was hosting an event in Atlantic City when someone I was working with said they saw a sexually explicit video of me. I reached out to Sean. I need you to call me ASAP, according to text message that was showed to the court. This was March 9th, 2014. Ventura said any leaked footage will put my career in jeopardy and cause great embarrassment to my mother and my family. Man, man. Now, Cassie, and we're getting to the end here. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Cassie says Diddy blackmailed her with sex videos from free calls. Cassie said that when Combs was upset with her, he would frequently remind her he had videos of her having sex at the free calls. She said that Combs brought up the videos on the night of her birthday when she refused to leave her friends to go with Combs to a free call. It is horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone, she said of the alleged blackmail. I could ruin everything I work for, make me look like a slut. I wasn't supposed to be on those videos, she said. I don't want to be in them. Basically, she talked about more of the drugs that, they were fueled by ketamine, which was, she's saying, is Diddy's drug of choice. She said ketamine, Sean had it. He took it all the time at the free calls, testifying about sex. Hold on, wait. Ventura testifying about sex with other men at Combs' direction as he watched. That was my preferred drug because it was the most disassociative. Wow. The prosecution showed Ventura a dozen photos of sex workers hired for the free calls. Ventura remembered many of them, but not all of them. She said their name. Wow. When I thought it was, nobody ever said Diddy having sex with him, man. Notice that. A lot of people, that hasn't came up yet. We'll see, because a lot of people accuse him of being, what? Well, it looks like from what she's saying, allegedly, he just likes watching her getting piped up by other dudes. That turns him on, which is the weirdest thing. But hey, that's crazy, man. That's wow. So it was the time she talked about speeding up, that they were going to a movie premiere and that Diddy made her cover up her fat lip and bruised legs, obviously with clothes, makeup, sunglasses, and shit like that. And there's other times of domestic violence, him banging on the door. Again, trying to paint this man like a compulsive, over emotional, jealous, abusive, drug rage, sex addict. That's the picture that they're painting. And I think they're doing a great job of it. I'm not going to lie. I think the prosecution is doing a great job of painting Diddy as a proverbial monster at this point, and it's going to be up to the defense team, which I think if they're good, which they should be, they better be. It could get ugly for Cassie. It could get ugly for her. And if I'm the defense, I'm putting pressure on her. I'm asking her questions as many ways possible. I'm making her admit to as much things as I can. I'm going all the way in. If I'm the defense attorney, I've been practicing, like I'm shooting in the gym for this. Like, this is where you have to really, this is the witness that you really have to destroy her credibility. And I'm not going to tell you which way I believe here. I'm just saying, like, on the side of the defense, I think that the prosecution is doing a great job. And not only are they painting the picture, that they're showing photos, they have the video, they have all, they're giving you the visual with the story. So I think that bodes well for them, So tomorrow is going to be, like I said, cross-examination. The defense I'm going to be listening attentive. I ain't going to lie. The prosecution the defense will be going in. The prosecution will be objecting as much as they can. Even if they just object, just to get a slight pause for a moment and make her rethink how she's going to answer. But if you're the defense, it's obviously it's an art to it. So you're going to first make them, get them comfortable, and try to trap them. So I'm going to be watching for that. I'm no lawyer or whatever, but I do understand the art form. And I think I'll probably be a good one if I was one, especially at cross-examination. And This is something that, a good defense attorney could, because it's going to be, because in all of this, he never talk about he put a gun to my head. He never forced me. If anything, it was like she's saying that she wanted to make him happy by doing this. She didn't really like to do it, but she did it anyway. I think that could be attacked. That could really be attacked. Now, I understand, like, we all know about situations with people like this. I can see how the type of guy they're trying to paint him to be. I can see that, right? I'm not saying I 100% agree with it, but I tell you, the pendulum is shifting. But I'm gonna wait to. That's why, with these type of trials and stuff, you got to get the whole picture first. That's why the court is set up in a way it's set up. One side tells a story, you tell your story. I get to question you about your story. You get to question me about my story. We get to go through the facts, and people get to listen to it. Is justice always served? No, but you do get a chance to confront your witnesses. You do get a chance to tell your story, and that's all people want. So I'm not sure what lawyer is going to be doing across of Diddy. I kind of just wish that it was videos in there, but another person pointed out they waited for Cassie because she appears to be pregnant. They waited, for her to get pregnant because now it's this pregnant woman, and you're showing how this guy who's a black man is a monster. He made her do all this stuff. She was drinking piss. She was, swallowing this, doing that, doing this, doing this. Another part about this I want to talk about. I'm just gonna put me on the screen real quick. The prosecution is doing a horrible job. Sorry, y'all. Horrible job of showing the sex trafficking aspect of this. Where's the trafficking aspect? Where is it? Where's the trafficking aspect of this case? Does anybody see it? Because to me, it looks like they are going from city to city, wherever they're going, soliciting people, calling people escorts, and that's what escorts do, paying them for their service, and they're performing their job. Unethical, yes. Disgusting, yes. Wild, abusive, yes. But sex trafficking, I don't see it. Coercion, yes. Being forced, maybe. Not in a way where you better do this or but somebody doing it because you want to please somebody, which is, that could be up for like, yo, hold on. I could defend that. I didn't make you do it. You was willing. Matter of fact, you even set up these freak offs. You say you did it because, you were trying to make me happy. Bullshit. You did it because you liked it. And that's what the defense is going to have to show. You did it because you liked it. You was enjoying this too. You called setting these joints up and shit. You was in this with me. You was in it with me. Now all of a sudden the shit hit the fan. Now you want to act like whatever the case may be. So I mean, it's going to get real. It's going to get real. Sooner than later. Sooner than later, it's going to get very real in this case. It is. Because you know, and I'm very sympathetic. I don't want people to think that, it's some chauvinish. No, I'm very sympathetic, and I'm seeing the picture that they're painting. I do believe so. I believe some of this shit about Diddy. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, he was into that shit, and this guy's just into that weird shit. It is. But did he force her to do it? That's another story for another day. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We got to wait to see more testimony. Wait to hear more people talk. Wait to hear more Cassie story. Wait to hear, I'm sure Diddy's not going to take, but the other witnesses that come up, bodyguards and things, because best believe Cassie's not the only one that's going to try to throw him under the bus. I'm sure they're going to have bodyguards, producers, people that was around, and they're going to testify, and it's going to get real, you know, fishy. But again, I don't see the sex trafficking aspect of it right now. Don't. They got to show me that. Let me know. Y'all see it? Let me know in the comment below. I just don't see it. When you tell me that, I'm thinking, all right, you getting these people and you taking them, and the lines is blurred. Like, you want to just go have a good time. You providing drugs and shit like that and all that. People's doing it on their own will, proverbially. And now you're trying to charge me for the RICO? I just don't see it yet. Maybe it's too early to see it. But with that being said, I'm out of here. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all listening in for my recap. I know it was long. I know it was drawn out, but I gave you verbatim, word for word, of the testimony today. And tomorrow is going to be even better. Tomorrow, Thursday, because it's going to be cross. And they're going to ask questions. And I'm going to anticipate her slipping up. I'm going to anticipate her answering stuff, not the right way. So hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace. Don't.